On the caption, this video, I'm going to be showing you my podcast room, and I also will give you the links for all of the equipment I have. Most of it is on Amazon. So let's head upstairs and give you a tour. The location of the podcast room is pretty interesting. It's upstairs off of the bonus room. So when we had toured the property, the previous seller had this unique space set up as a bedroom. She had a bed in there and a TV, and we just figured it was such an odd space. We had no idea what to do with it. We were just gonna leave it. But then the podcast got started and we decided to use it as my podcast room. So just came up those stairs and we walked into the little nook and we are now in my podcast room. We keep walking past the podcast room. We get into this huge bonus room area. Please excuse the mess. We have not set this up yet. We couldn't decide if we wanted to set it up as a room because this would be such a cool spot for guests to stay, but we just decided to set it up as our workout room for now. It has a bathroom, a huge closet. There's also 2 more huge closets here in the little nook space, but I am loving the podcast room so much. Okay, the first item I'm going to share with you is this mic. It is so badass. It's actually just this part, and then you can buy different types of attachments. So you could get one that just kind of stands straight up here and you can't move it, but I kind of thought it'd be cool to have one that, I can move this thing up and down and whatnot. So I think it kind of looks cool, and what makes it even better and more badass is the things that it's hooked up to. So I could technically just have this, but the podcast producer that we're using had suggested, honestly, I don't even know what these things are, but it makes the sound so much better. So I've got this guy that is hooked up to this guy. I'm gonna link them all below because I am not talented in this realm or very educated and just went off of his recommendations, but I'm gonna be using this for the podcast. But I thought also what would be amazing is in the future, starting in January again, I'm gonna start doing my social media classes where I'll be doing live calls into brokerages offices, which I can obviously reach people all over the US. I already have 3 or 4 brokerages already booked and paid for January. I'm so excited. So I use my Mac desktop and I can hook this up to it. And so when I'm doing the classes for the agents, I'll be able to use this mic and just sound really cool. So I'm able to use it for 2 different things, but essentially this hooks up to my Mac desktop, which I usually have upstairs. I feel like it looks like I'm actually talking in here, but I'm not. I wish this hooked up to my camera, but it doesn't. So I'll also link my camera here. I know I have in previous videos, but you can buy it off Amazon, and I love it so much. I think it's such great quality. When I was talking to someone at Best Buy, a lot of the more inexpensive cameras, he was like, do you have an iPhone? If you have an iPhone, you might as well just keep the iPhone because the camera quality is really good on that. But it was similar quality. So this is like a step up from that. It's not crazy expensive, but it's very user-friendly, and I really like it. And the setup is I have this screen that flops out, so I'm able to see myself right now, which I think is really freaking cool. So I'll link that below for you as well. If you happen to really want a good mic, I'll link these 3, but if you don't need anything super fancy, you probably don't need these other items, and you could just go get away with the mic. Love, love, love. So let me show you what else I got. This backdrop is really awesome. You can pick out all these different colors. You can get it on Amazon. I got this stand, and it was super easy. I took the roll and just slid it across here, and then you pull the paper down. These lights are badass. At first, I was thinking, okay, I really don't want to invest in lights. What if I can just figure out a good lighting spot? But still, these are just they're perfect. And with all the social media content that I'm using, I will always use them. So also there's an app on the phone that you can use to hook up these lights. So I don't have to keep coming over here. I'll show you the back of the lights, but that way I don't have to keep coming over here to mess with the lights, because there's a couple different configurations on the back here. You use these dials, but this is Bluetooth, so I'm able to adjust the lighting, and I can, okay, basically I sit here on my computer and I can see myself on the camera, and I'm able to adjust from my phone both of the two lighting contraptions, whatever you want to call them, so that I'm not having to get up, tweak them, go back over here, look to see what it looks like. It's all Bluetooth, so I can easily do it on my phone, which is kind of cool. So I just think it looks nice, especially because this room is this weird nook and there aren't any windows. But you know, even if you are in a room with windows, like, it needs to be sunny outside, it needs to be a certain time of day, and this way, like, no matter what, I can take these down and apart. It's super easy, and they come with really nice bags, so I would be able to travel with them if I wanted. But I'll link these if you happen to need some lighting. And then, it's probably not necessary that I have to show you this, but I have a wine cooler with my favorite LaCroix. Key lime flavoring is my favorite, and then I've just got some waters in there. Let's see, I've got this like IKEA stand-up desk with a bar stool, and I think that wraps up the video. I've got, usually, like I said, I have the new Mac hookup here, and the camera on the new Mac desktops are freaking phenomenal, and it's a 4K camera. And the podcast producer had, I'm gonna go in this room, had suggested for me to get a webcam, but the camera on my laptop is so good that I don't even need it. But if you are needing a good, affordable webcam, I'm still gonna link it down below for you in case you need that. But yeah, so I normally have the desktop set up in there. I usually have my laptop. I've got another ring light because I like to just record like the behind the scenes footage of it. But I am so fired up about the podcast. If you don't know already, it's called Highest and Best. I am doing it with a real estate agent, Erica. She is out in Michigan. We're similar, but we also do things very, very differently. And I think we have very different personalities. So that's why I wanted to do the podcast with someone else. And she had already come up with the name and all the branding, all the colors and stuff. So we have really invested a lot of time, money, energy into it, and it seems really rewarding even so far, just like talking to other agents about it. People are so fired up and excited. So we already got our first edit from the podcast producer, and it looks so good, you guys. Like, you would think, at least in my opinion, it looks like I'm in an actual studio, but really I'm just in this weird nook in my house. But the topics, we've already recorded 4. There are gonna be new episodes every single week, I believe on Wednesdays. And we wanna eventually bring on guests. We wanna answer everyone's questions throughout it and give really detailed answers to help our fellow real estate agent friends, and hope to build an awesome community and tribe, share with everybody what has worked, what has not worked. It's really what keeps me fired up and keeps going. I love podcasts in general. If you have a favorite podcast, let me know. But I think that's gonna wrap up this video. Stay tuned for the podcast. I'll be sharing more about it on my Instagram, updating you on when it's gonna be going live, because it's either this week or next week. I'm not sure. But thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for every single week as I post a new video. And any questions that you have, please let me know, because I would love to answer them for you on future videos.